My major task was to work on the redesigning of the post feed for the first month, and I managed to implement a few important things to make and give post feed a modernized way of look. So, like, I implemented a grid system. It is just like Instagram web have, and I have also managed to add a post detailed view where we can also see the post and everything that like captions and title and information and stuff like that. Along with it, I have also removed the icons which we were using early, and I have added a menu bar instead of it. And I'm also planning to implement features like pinning, unpinning, scheduler, pinning, unpinning of post that is on Instagram, scheduling of post that is a similar feature is on LinkedIn. And apart from it, I also implemented a previewer in the model, in the create post model, where you can see what video and what picture you have uploaded. Certain validations I've also added in the model because earlier it was not there. So yeah.
Okay, thanks. That's good to see, and I think that'll be a useful output for people to for the admins to work with. One of the things that I've been trying to talk to people about is that when we talk about a post, there are different types of posts. That the posts that we have so far are primarily posts that are like a blog post where we have to have a title. And so therefore that really works when we do a post like sometimes in like a LinkedIn scenario where you may want to have a title for a particular activity. But in some cases, people don't want to have a title. And so we need to come up with a methodology as to how do we handle titles, because titles are really more geared to more like a news organization's feed, whereas when you're doing something like Instagram, nobody really puts in a title for it because they're just showing something that is more spur of the moment. And so we're going to need to start thinking about what that may require. So do we still keep the titles or do we not keep them? Now, it may not be suitable for this year to try and figure out what we do with it, but I think we should start the discussion about it fairly soon as well. Does anybody else have any comments on what Aashima has done?
I think we can also use multiple views, just like Instagram, where one can be scroll and one can be see in the grid. What do you think?
Like, could you explain it a little bit more? So you have different views.
Yeah, just like a section of the views. So if the user wants to see all of the post in a form of grid, or maybe he wants to use a Facebook feed functionality to scroll the post with the captions.
Oh, I see.
I think that feature is useful for mobile, not for the admin side.
It's like admin side is generally for managing the posts, not for viewing.
Yeah,
but the like I'm building user portal, so there we can have the scroll.
Yeah, this feature can be useful for the user.
Yes, regular feature.
So you're talking about the feature where we have, like you have the grid view. When you press the actual image, it now becomes more of a scrolling type view. Is that what you're saying, Sudesh?
No, I was saying to be in the different form of view, just like a tab kind of thing. In first tab, they can see on the grid. On the second tab, they can see on the scrolling fashion. Because in the grid view, the captions are getting
being very honest about the view, I initially also planned to implement list view and grid view, but I thought maybe I should focus more on features rather than providing another view system, because there were certain features that are not in the admin portal right now, but they are being used in the mobile side. So I felt maybe I should implement them first and work on the view, the post view, which is also on LinkedIn, the scroll view later, because I didn't find anything like that, despite I feel Quora use it, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, maybe I can discuss it with my mentor and then decide on it.
Yeah, we really need to focus on making sure that we get the base functionality down, and then we can start thinking about the fine-tuning. And what you guys are saying is true. It may be useful for the admin to have different types of views, but I really would like to make sure that we get the base stuff done, and then we can start thinking about some of this other stuff, and also the titles thing that I was mentioning. Aashima, one of the things that I see is that the posts that you have are more image focused, and so therefore it's hard for you to see the text that's underlying until you actually press the actual image or click through. So what you have is more of a social media style, more like an Instagram photo-centric view.
Yeah.
Whereas in what we have, it may be more like a LinkedIn thing where you have the image followed by the text. So because if somebody's going to be reporting a post or whatever, more than likely it's going to be either the image or the text, since the admin now has to click through on the image to see what the text would be. So I don't know whether that's something that we may want to think about if you're going to be doing an alternative view, that may be something you may want to include. The grid view may be useful for the photocentric size, and then if you're going to be doing the scrolling view, then you'd actually have to include the text as a part of the scroll. That may be something, talk to your mentor about it, but I think that might be something that's useful. What does the view look like when there's no image presented?
I have also implemented that. If, like, for now, there was this one default image that we are using, but if someone really wants to post without the picture, there is this one gray block which will be there instead of picture, and you can see the detail of the post further by clicking on it. So that I've taken care of, but I understand your concern about giving titles and post information a priority, and maybe I'll talk to like Taylor with it and like rethink what I can do on it.
Well, don't change it just yet. Let's work with what we have, and then what I'd prefer is that if we're going to be doing posts, then we have a coordinated effort about what we do with titles. Because the worst thing you can do is change a project midstream if it's not absolutely necessary. And I'd prefer not for us to be distracted by something like this, because it's not just doing stuff on the UI. It's also, there may be API related backend things that need to be done, and it may not be the time. So let's not get distracted. Let's focus on getting the core functionality done, and then we can start thinking about streamlining. Okay, so
Sure.
maybe later on in the year, but start thinking about how do we handle text. Okay, that'd be great. All right, so Aashima, thanks a lot. That's really good to see. Does anybody else have any further comments or statements?